right. So Jeremy Horn is the founder of Elite Performance, a mixed martial arts training organization based in Salt Lake City, Utah. He's been an active competitor in MMA for over 30 years and has fought in over 180 fights during that career. Jeremy has fought in almost every fighting organization in the world and has also trained 6 UFC world champions. And I forgot to add in here who all: Forrest Griffen, can't remember the other guy, Frank Shamrock, I think maybe. We'll ask Jeremy whenever he gets on here. But Jeremy was also the former IFC, which is International Fighting Championships middleweight champion, and the King of the Cage lightweight champion. So we're going to ask him what all of these things mean and more. Let's welcome Jeremy onto the show. Hey, Jeremy.
How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming on tonight.
Well, thanks for having me.
You bet. So could you decipher for us? Let's just start with the real basic stuff. Could you decipher for us all the acronyms? There's IFC, UFC, blah, blah, blah.
Sure. So the easiest way that I would explain it would be just similar to like the difference between USPSA and IDPA. Like they're both shooting sports. They're in the same sport. They have slightly different rules. They're different leagues. Some people can, some people shoot back and forth. You can be a USPSA grandmaster and still be nothing in IDPA if you never compete there. So all the different organizations have their own contender rankings, champions, and I fought for most of them. So.
Okay, now explain all the chaos in the background, because people are going to think you have that you have a bunch of kids or something.
Well, so I sort of do. I'm here at my gym right now in my office, and practice is going on right now. The kids are right outside the door. So you'll hear the occasional wild screaming banshee running past. So, and my dog is here, so she may freak out and start barking too at some point.
Yeah, mine too. Mine's the same way. Well, that's real life, right?
Yes.
So tell us about your beginnings. When did you start fighting? How did you get involved in it, etc.?
Okay, so I started training in martial arts when I was 12. My older brother was doing it, so I just followed along with what he did. And this was when was this? It was about 1987, I think, 87 or 88, right around there. So I'm really old. And so I just got hooked from day one. As soon as I found it, I fell in love with it and never looked back. So I trained constantly. And then when I was about 19 or 20, the UFC kind of rolled around, and it was kind of the new hot crazy thing. I don't know if you were familiar with it back then, but it was new. Nobody had ever seen it before. It was basically no rules fighting, and it was all the craze in the martial arts world. They would take different martial arts styles and let them all compete together. So, can a boxer beat a wrestler? Can a karate guy beat a taekwondo guy? And so they all just started going into the ring and beating the hell out of each other. And I saw it and fell in love. And so decided to jump in and try my hand at it. Turned out I was decent at it. And the rest is history. I just kept fighting and kept training. And fast forward 25 years, here we are.
Now, what were the names that I missed? I know there was, you gave me a list and I forgot to put it in my notes. Tell me who you fought against.
Well, so if you're familiar with
some of the
sport,
bigger names,
I've been fighting for, like I said, almost 25 years. And so I've fought almost everybody that you've ever heard of in the sport. So I fought Frank Shamrock for the title in the UFC. I fought Dan Severn. Those are both UFC champions. I fought Anderson Silva. He was a UFC champion. I fought Chael Sonnen 3 times. I fought Forrest Griffen. I fought Randy Couture. A bunch of big names. I fought pretty much everybody.
That's insane. So, but there's got to be a reason. Like, isn't it true that most fighters have a 7 to 10 year career at most?
Yeah, that's pretty common. I don't know. I'm a bit of an anomaly. I think I've always tried to fight and win and get in and out of there as fast as I can without getting hurt, so I can fight again soon. But yeah, I don't know. I have kind of a knack for not getting hurt. I've never had a broken bone, never been cut, never been hurt in a fight. So
that
definitely been an anomaly. But really, the training is where a lot of guys get hurt and get banged up. It's hard on your body.
Yeah, and I saw a video on your YouTube channel where you were talking about, and that's part of the title of this too, is training smarter versus harder. And we're going to get into that a little bit later, because obviously not just a believer, but it works.
Yes.
If you're smart in how you train. And I think that could be applied to the shooting world as well. So I want to get into that.